Happy Monday, brother. Let's start the day with some flexing. This is my current physique update. Fasted in the morning. Carb refeed definitely making me more full. However, I did wake up a little bit more bloated and puffy this morning, meaning it's probably going to be time to start digging into the fat stores yet again. Morning weight, fasted, so clearly the carb refeed is working. And wouldn't you notice, the toenails have been cut. When you can't raise the ceiling, you should raise the floor. And eventually, before you know it, the ceiling will raise automatically. This is a saying I'm going to keep repeating over and over and over again because it's so profoundly true that if you learn how to push yourself on your off days when things aren't quite clicking and ticking, then your on days will feel even more superb. For example, yesterday I woke up, went through my entire day after a good night's sleep. Today I cannot say the same thing because the editing that I had to do last night took way longer than expected. Partially due to my own inadequacies as a creator, and partially due to this software that kept not recording what I wanted to record on the voiceover. But anyway, to summarize, I ended up falling asleep just after 11 p.m, meaning I'm running on just under 5 hours of sleep, which is far from optimal. It's far from ideal, especially during this contest prep. And this is a sign that I need to seriously move some things around in my schedule with my priorities and just how I do things. Step number 1 is not creating a video that takes so many things to add to the edit. It took way longer than it had to because I was doing a voiceover. Today, I will do my best to create content that doesn't need a voiceover, so I can just record what needs to be recorded, just slap all the clips together and post it as is, because the whole point of this journey is for me to document me at my most authentic self. But anyway, when you can't raise the ceiling, raise the floor. Today will be a struggle for sure. I have same amount of work to do in terms of, deliveries, and I have an intense leg session to do in between my shifts. But apart from that, absolutely no complaints here. We're making money, we're getting shredded. That's the beauty of the male life, isn't it? We're getting shredded, we're making money while being as calm, present, and still as we can possibly manage, because even on these off days, the more I can just return to the breath, the better I do. You can learn how to focus and enter the flow state even when you're tired, even when you're weak. Speaking of weakness, today is one of those days where I am so tempted to wake up and the first thing I do is turn on the kettle, reach for the coffee. That is not happening, no. I know exactly what a slippery slope this will lead to. No, if I'm going to use caffeine as a tool, it's going to be later in prep when I'm deeper into the trenches and the side effects start piling on. That's when I'm going to tactically include caffeine back in again just to feel slightly more human. But I'm not there yet. I don't need to. I still feel great, especially after this carb refeed. Yes, I'm always hungry. Yes, I'm weak. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I'm a bit sleep deprived today. Pittances. It's all okay. It's going to get so much rougher, and quite frankly, I'm excited because men are forged in the fire just like steel. Anyway, I'm waiting here, about to start my shift. Once the van gets loaded up with my parcels, I'm going to have breakfast. Normies love to say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and then proceed to stuff their faces with sugary cereal and freaking English breakfast with all this greasy garbage. However, I believe breakfast can be an important meal of the day, especially depending on the season of your life. Right now, I'm in the season where my physique is my number one priority. I have to step on stage looking my best, which is why I have this breakfast during this carb refeed day, which is the same as yesterday with the addition of some frozen berries, as it should have been yesterday, but I forgot these at home. So eggs, protein, healthy fats, cholesterol, nutrients, all that delicious goodness. Rice cakes, which I'm going to spread with raw honey, then add some berries on top and some dates. Going to be absolutely delicious. But getting back to the season of life thing, I believe when your focus is mental performance and you want to build your business, you should fast until the deepest, most effective work of the day has been done. However, this bodybuilding is my deepest, most effective work in this season of life. So, a little bit of brain fog as I do my first few deliveries is not that much of an issue. First round of the day has been completed. Now I can sip on my raw cacao and snack on my dates on the way to the gym to hit a hard leg session. And I'm taking my own advice. I'm not multitasking. I'm fully focused on the present moment. Why do I need to save a few minutes of distracted driving to try and talk to you at the same time as navigating my way to my next destination, where I can pull over briefly and just say my thoughts, right? And my thoughts are as follows. Even though today I'm running on less sleep than yesterday, even though I started this morning a little bit more chaotically in the sense of I didn't get a chance to go do my breathwork session because I had a few little admin bits and bobs to sort out on my phone, but nonetheless, even though I was a bit low energy, even though I started to get a little bit of a, nodding off feeling on the way to my first drop, because obviously I just ate some carbs and natural sugars that gave me a little spike and then, fell away a little bit. All it took was just to get outside, get into the delivery flow state and get moving, get grooving, and the energy came right back. Don't discount your entire day just because you woke up tired, because let me tell you, your energy can come back, but it always takes effort. Believe me, I know how tempting it is to immediately reach for the caffeine when you're sleepy, but let me tell you, more energy can be found on the other side of effort. Physical effort, mental effort, doing something that challenges you, even slightly, even something like sprinting to your deliveries, which is what I did, which was just enough to give me back into the rhythm of things. But yeah, see you at the gym. Kicking off the workout with some lying leg curls. Normally, I would start my leg training sessions straight away with a heavy squat, heavy hip hinge of some kind, but I'm on a cut. Things need to be played a little bit differently, and my hamstrings are quite a lagging part, so it's good to prioritize them first. Plus, it really makes the knees feel fresh before I do all of my disgustingly hard quad work that I'm about to do. I open with the hack squat, and I'm just gonna turn on the sound and let you watch. Next, I move on to the leg press, and believe me, I would never do these two movements back to back like this, two heavy quad biased machines in a row. But like I said, I'm doing things a little bit differently because I'm just following coach's instructions. I personally love training legs with free weights, but honestly, I think this is a good move the deeper I get into this cut, because the more ripped you get, the more lean and fatigued, the less you can handle spinal compression, and heavy CNS demanding exercises like the squat and the deadlift should be the first to go. If you ain't training your abs, you're missing out a huge piece of the puzzle. Because yes, obviously the leaner you get, the more you'll see your abs, but you can also grow them just like any other muscle. Who would have guessed it, right? And the bigger and chunkier you get your abs, the more they will bulge through your body fat and make you appear leaner at a higher body fat percentage. So cut, bulk, doesn't matter. Train your freaking abs hard and heavy, just like any other muscle, with progressive overload. Not these 7-minute bullshit ab workouts that you download with an app and that make you feel like you're getting a pump that you do for 2 weeks and then give up entirely. None of that nonsense here. First superset of the day, I squat down and do the abductor machine, which is an excellent booty builder, especially seeing as you can grab onto the handles and lean into it and you're not seated on a pad. This is because we have agreed, me and coach, that I need to do more glute isolation so that I can really practice flexing my glutes on stage. I know that sounds gay as hell, but it's to make every pose more tight and stable. No explanation necessary, just some leg extensions to absolutely finish off and destroy the quads. Enjoy. And then the most interesting, exciting part of any workout, the calves. Boy, don't you always just look forward to training your calves? Don't you get hyped up on pre-workout, listen to some heavy metal, just pumped to do some calf raises? Yeah, me neither. Nobody ever does. And you don't have to, man. Just freaking get it done. Find a way, pardon me, find a way to enjoy the calves by getting very present in the moment and truly experiencing the stretch and squeeze like you would enjoy on any other muscle. And the next superset is obviously the neck, because supersetting calves and neck together is literally a no-brainer. They're both free volume, zero fatigue, and might actually restore some of your energy in preparation for the next exercise. So these are two exercises that I literally do back to back to back with no rest in between any of them, because I can, because they're very, very low demand and they're very important muscles to give you a well-rounded physique that no one else wants to train. Got done with the gym. It was another intense session. Strength definitely slightly coming back from all the carb refeeds, but now it's time to grind. I've fully scanned everything, loaded up my van. Now I definitely feel like I've earned my feast. A meal fit for a king. Exactly the same as yesterday, with some added berries and fruit, because, as a wise man once said, simplicity is the greatest sophistication. And people who think, oh, a meal plan isn't sustainable, number one, make a meal plan that you actually enjoy. Number two, find sustainability within the unsustainable. Having a meal plan takes out so much decision fatigue and mental load of, oh, what do I want to eat? And it prevents you from always being a slave to your emotions. Oh, I'm craving this, I'm craving that. Enough. Just eat for fuel and enjoy the fuel. Bon appetit, boys. It's the last meal of the day, and man, it's been a tiring one. I finished later than yesterday, but I have a feeling I'm going to get to sleep earlier because I don't have as much to do in terms of the editing. This video wasn't as full on as yesterday's one, and you're going to watch it and you're going to be grateful for it, because this is what you're going to get for the time being while I'm working and training, focusing on way too many things. I can do none of them to the best of my ability, which, of course, you can understand. But that's exactly why I'm gonna sack off this 2 jobs and just roll them into one long day. Basically, my first job, I have the option of either doing an early morning shift or a full day. The full day obviously pays more, but it leaves me less time to do another job at the end of the day. But I keep on having to remind myself, what is the number one priority? This is not the season of being a hustle monkey and trying to money as much as possible. No, this is the season to dedicate everything I have to building my physique, doing the best I can on stage. So, yeah, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be doing these 2 jobs, but very soon you're going to see a new day. And I know it's been absolute bedlam, absolute chaos, but the only way to proceed through the chaos is with violent clarity. You do that by just returning to the present moment with a smile on your face and being grateful for everything you have, all of the goodness in your life, plus all of the trials and sufferings you're going through, because they're shaping your character. Have an amazing day, my brother. I'll see you tomorrow.